Hi, good to see you again. Office in the home, how do you write that off? Well, let me first dispel an urban legend. It is not a red flag to the IRS. I don't know where that came from. I've been in this business since 1980. I've gone to a lot of seminars where we find out what's being audited. It has never been an office in the home. So you should take it. What's really neat is that this year in 2013, we have a brand new win-win thing that Congress did for us. It's one of the few good things they've done for small business. They've allowed a new way to write off the office. It starts in 2013. There are two basic methods we call the actual method and the safe harbor method. The actual method is what you're used to. You take the square footage of the room, and it must be a room, and then you compare that to the square footage of the whole house. That sets up a ratio. Let's say that 5% of the house is being used for an office. Now we can deduct 5% of the utilities, 5% of the rent, or 5% of the interest, the property tax, the security system, things that are in total to the house that help support the office and the home. This you get to apply to this square footage ratio. It's a good deal. You also are supposed to depreciate that part of the office or that part of the home, because it's an office or it's a business asset. That's also the downside. I'll come back to that in a second. The new method, which is more exciting and easier to use, is to take the square footage times $5 per square foot for a maximum of 300 square feet. That produces a maximum write-off of $1,500. You don't have to track utilities. You don't have to track all this other stuff. It's just straight up like that. The real impact here is that the interest of the mortgage and the property taxes still show up on Schedule A, your itemized deduction page, in full. They aren't reduced because you're doing this safe harbor method. The other plus here is down the road. When you sell the house currently, the first $500,000 of profit is tax-free if you're married filing joint. That's a good deal. So it's basically a free thing when you sell the house. But if you were declaring an office and a home with depreciation, you just sold a company asset. They want recapture. In other words, you're going to pay tax on part of that profit. A bad deal. Nobody likes it. This safe harbor takes all that away. There's no depreciation. There's no depreciation recapture. You just get to write off a maximum of $1,500 for the office and home every year. Okay, of course, there are other things you get to write off. You're sitting at a desk on a chair. That's an office. That's a business expense or asset. You got filing cabinets, you've got adding machines, you've got computers that you see behind me. The software, whatever it takes to make that office function, you get to write off just like I do with the stuff you see here. It's all a business cost. These are called ordinary and necessary business expenses. Again, the tax code changes as this change just happened. Keep that in mind. And of course, if this helps, great. If you have further questions, give me a call. Keep in mind, being self-employed is probably the single best tax shelter left out there. Use it to your advantage.